NFL offenses beware. Chicago Bears head coach Matt Eberflus is now on pace to do exactly what he wanted to do all along. When he first came to the Chicago Bears, he didn't have the ideal guys that he wanted for his scheme fits. Let's talk about the history of Matt Eberflus. This was the previous Indianapolis Colts defensive coordinator from 2018 up to 2021, and now he's coming in and he's reinventing this entire defense. He's creating a 4-3 scheme. We talk about Tampa 2, we talk about cover 2. The key words in this defense are a Mike, a 3-tech, and we got to have that secondary. We got to have the DBs. And now we're coming into this in an off season. These signings of Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, and DeMarcus Walker are all telling me that now this is finally what Matt Eberflus has wanted all along. Going over to a team that we can see running this scheme very, very well in the NFL, we got the San Francisco 49ers. Now with the addition of Javon Hargrave, their 3-tech, they got Arik Armstead, they got Nick Bosa, they got Drake Jackson, all of those guys. But the key, like I said, the Sam, the Will, and the Mike. Fred Warner is the guy that makes this thing go. And now transitioning back to the Chicago Bears and what has been a controversial signing by a lot of Bears fans for a 4-year, $72 million contract with $50 million guaranteed for Mike linebacker Tremaine Edmonds. Let me tell you all why it makes sense. First thing we got, Roquan Smith, he's a great linebacker. He's an elite off-the-ball linebacker. He can thump, he can do it all. But Tremaine Edmonds being in this defense brings something that they really haven't had. Being 6'5", 240 plus. Like I said, he has some things he still has to clean up as well. But he can get in those passing lanes. He can run with the number 3 receiver. He can sink in a Tampa 2 defense, and that's what the key is. You don't really want Roquan Smith being put in a situation like that. You want to keep him around the ball, let him thump, and do what he does best. Now we're bringing in TJ Edwards, having him as that will linebacker, and he's going to also play an extremely important role in this defense. Now we can just allow him to thump, let Tremaine Edmonds play in space, and then we still got Sanborn want to use that if needed. But a lot of things we're going to do with this defense, we're going to have that nickel base formation. So now that's talking about we got 3 safeties, we got 2 corners, and like I said, Tampa 2 and cover 2. Those are going to be our 2 main defenses. We're also going to play a heavy overdose of man. We want to press, get these corners physical, and now going to the defensive line. We got Justin Jones, DeMarcus Walker, we got Travis Gibson, Andrew Billings, guys of that nature, but we still got to add some more to this, and that's going to be a heavy emphasis in the draft. I think we can still use to add edge. I think we can still add on the interior for depth. I think Marcus Walker is a pretty solid guy, was a rotational piece for Tennessee, but put up 7 sacks in his past season. How are we going to use him? Is he going to be a starter in Chicago? That's not determined just yet, but I think he can be a solid piece on this defensive line, and we want to build that. We already got our linebacker core set. We're going to have to attack a corner in the draft, so let's look at how the 49ers are doing it. How is it working? We know they have Travarius Ward. We know they have Fred Warner. Nick Bosa is really the difference maker in this thing, and you can't get a Nick Bosa right now. So maybe in future free agencies you're going to try to attack that. But right now, how can we look at our defense? Really, that's why Jalen Carter has been an important part of trying to get him to this team, because we add that 3-tech. That's what San Francisco was missing last season. That's why you go and get a Javon Hargrave. You add all of those guys in, and now you have the perfect defense. When we create this, and now we're looking like the 49ers on defense, a base 4-3, playing cover 2. We have the Mike linebacker. After looking at what this team is trying to do, how it's going to work, and how it's proven to work with DeMeco Ryans in that 49ers defense, it all makes sense. I really want to talk about it and really want to make this point, because I don't think a lot of people understand the roots of a Matt Eberflus coming from Indianapolis, what he tried to do with Zaire Franklin, Bobby Orike, Darius Leonard. So now once we view these free agency signings of a Tremaine Edmonds and a TJ Edwards in this lens, we finally got that linebacker core. We're trying to replicate Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner. So now we got TJ Edwards, that's our Dre Greenlaw. Tremaine Edmonds still has a ways to go, but he's only 24 years old. He doesn't know what he doesn't know, and he's still athletic as they get at the middle linebacker position. So we have that. That's something to believe in. We're not paying these guys on what they've done. We're paying you based on what we think you can do throughout the duration of this contract, and I think he can get better and get to that next level through the duration of this contract. So you gotta be happy. And while there's still a ways to go, we gotta hit on these draft picks. We gotta continue to search for some things in free agency. This is a huge reason for Chicago Bears fans to be optimistic, because we're trying to mimic the scariest defense in the NFL.